In proof number 34, I'm going to start like I always do and mark everything that I know from the given information. I know that angle 1 and angle 3 are the same, and I know that Rx and Ry are the same. Now, what I'm going to do is mark in purple what I'm trying to prove, and that would be that this triangle, RXS, is congruent to this triangle, RYS. So now let's go back and see what I get from my information. If angle 1 and angle 3 are the same, I do know that angle 1 and angle 2 make a linear pair, and that angle 3 and angle 4 also make a linear pair. But if I use the same angle, 1 and 3, to make a linear pair, then I know 2 and 4 have to be congruent. Well, that gives me a side and an angle in these two triangles that I'm trying to prove congruent, and I know that I have 5 choices. I could say side, side, side. I could say side, angle, side. I could say angle, side, angle. I could say angle, angle, side, or I could say hypotenuse, leg. Well, what I notice is that I have a side, angle, side very close, and I can mark that second set of sides from R to S because it's in both triangles. So I have a side, angle, side that does prove that these triangles are congruent. So now my job is to write everything that I marked. I started with my given, angle 1 was congruent to angle 3, and that Rx was congruent to Ry. And that was given to me. The very next thing that I marked was actually a lot of talking, but I just marked that angle 2 and angle 1 were a linear pair and supplementary. So I need to say that angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary, and likewise angle 3 and angle 4 are supplementary. And the reason for that is because I noticed that they're a linear pair, and linear pairs are supplementary. I was interested in the supplementary because I noticed that 2 and 4 both used angle 1 and angle 3, or in other words, 2 congruent angles. And I know that if two angles are congruent, then so are their supplements. But that's not what I marked. That's the reason that I marked angle 2 and angle 4 the same. So my statement is that angle 2 is congruent to angle 4 because if two angles are congruent, 1 and 3 in this case, then their supplements, 2 and 4, are also congruent. And that gave me the side and the angle that I needed, and then I still marked RS was congruent to itself because it was in both triangles. So that's a simple reflexive property. And then I had everything that I needed to say that that triangle, RXS, was congruent to triangle RYS because of the relationship of side, angle, side. And like always when I'm proving triangles congruent, I go back through my proof and I check. Here was a side that was stated. Here is the angles that I stated. And here is that second pair of sides. So I can clearly see in my proof, side, angle, side, proving that my triangles are in fact congruent.